Hello and welcome, boils and ghouls and all the creeps in between. Midnight Crypt Worx here. Hope everybody's having a great day. So I just wanted to come on here and kind of introduce myself. I'm not the type of person who likes to talk about myself a lot, but I figured I owe it to my subscribers now that I'm kind of growing a little bit. And my cat's at the window. And let you guys know how I read tarot, how I practice witchcraft and my own practice, and just tell you a little about myself. So here we go.
Welcome to the crypt.
Okay guys, I'm taking this off. I was feeling a little witchy and I thought I'd go all roby and stuff. Anyway. Okay, so things about me. My real name is Nikki. I am from the South. I'm from Florida. If y'all don't know by now, y'all know that I can't talk sometimes. My brain works way faster than my mouth. I am 36 years old and I am married. I don't have any kids yet, hopefully. I have animals. So I have a dog, which is a 6-year-old English Mastiff, and I have a gray and white cat, mostly gray, that is 7 years old. And his mom was a stray, and there's a really cute story behind that, but I won't go into it. And I also have a betta fish, and I keep tarantulas, and I have a velvet spider, and sometimes I keep mantises and jumping spiders. I just haven't had the money to really do that again for a little bit. So when it comes to my practice, I started practicing witchcraft at the age of 13. I've always felt drawn to witches, like in pop culture and movies and stuff. And I would practice magic, but I didn't have the language for it before 13. I remember, I live in Florida, so I'm literally like 10 minutes, to the beach. And so my family used to go to the beach a lot. We'd, wake up at 6 a.m. and be there by 7 and spend all day there, So I remember when, about 5, 6, maybe a little older, I would be at the beach and, I'd be in the water and something just came to me and I would concentrate on moving the waves and I would concentrate on moving the air and, I felt the energy in it and I wanted to manipulate it, and I started to at that age. But really at the age of 13 is really when I started to try to find books on real witchcraft and what I could really do in this mundane world, in this world that's not TV or movies, But back then, all you can find in the bookstores were about Salem witch trials and Wicca. That was pretty much the only type of books that you could find back then, even at bookstores. And I remember being in middle school or even elementary school trying to go to my school library looking for books on witches and spells and stuff, and that's all I could find was Salem witch trial things. But I definitely remember just feeling like I was a witch, early on in those days. So again, around 13 is when I really found like the language of what I was doing naturally. I actually came out as a witch at 13 in school and my parents and everything. And, everybody was super supportive except for, middle school years are awful. So I was bullied a lot, but my family was very supportive. They thought it was a phase. Haha, joke's on you. But yeah, so I remember wearing, my pentacle necklace and my pentacle ring, and I felt very empowered. And again, I was bullied a lot in middle school, up until, early high school, and I didn't care anymore. It didn't hurt me as much as it used to because, again, I felt empowered. I felt protected. So yeah, that's a little early backstory about how I started in witchcraft. So fast forward to today. What do I practice? What's like my title and so on and so on. So I identify just as a pagan witch. I used to identify as Wiccan. That was a long time ago. I'm not Wiccan anymore. And I think the thing that drove me away from that is the structure of it and the threefold law, because I didn't understand that at all. The whole karma thing I still don't believe in, but that's a completely different video. Let me know if you want me to tell you my take on karma. But anyway, right, so now I identify as a pagan witch. I am half Mexican, so I use a lot of brujeria in my practice. Being from the South, I use a lot of folk magic and like conjure and brujeria is very similar. Of course, it's very different also, but there is a lot of similarities in these two things. I've also been super drawn to ancient Egypt things, traditions, whatever, history, since elementary school. I've loved it. And because of that, I've been really drawn to Isis. So I work with Isis a lot, and I work with Santa Muerte. So it's kind of interesting, but it works for me. Like, it's not gonna work for everybody, but it works for me. But as far as like deity worship and stuff, I don't worship deity. To me, it's like a relationship. They loan me powers and energy and whatever, and I give them something in return. And that's kind of between us, but you know. But it's a relationship. I don't hold them on a pedestal above me. I feel like humans are, right there with gods and, saints and all that stuff. That's just my belief. And I feel like if I had to go toe to toe with the god, I would, and it is what it is. That might sound so arrogant, but I wouldn't choose to, but if I had to, I would. And they wouldn't completely obliterate me. They might, but I don't believe they would. Anyway, but yeah, that's how I kind of work with deity, and I like to especially work with my ancestors. That's a big thing in my practice. My great-grandmother was very intuitive and into herbs and stuff. But back then, I'm sure there was a word for, her magic and what she did, but it wasn't taught that way, and it wasn't talked about in that way. It was just kind of like a, Mexican healing, herbal healing, stuff like that. But I think this intuition and this knowing definitely runs in my family, because my grandmother is very intuitive too. And let me tell you, in my rebellious years, which I wasn't really much of a rebel, whenever I tried to do something that I wasn't supposed to, my grandma would know, and I would do everything right, but she would know. So yeah, I definitely think it's passed down to me from my ancestors, so I definitely like to honor that. Okay, so we're gonna talk about tarot. I have not been reading tarot for very long. I started reading, probably, not reading, but practicing. I'd say this coming year is about 6 years now, but professionally only for about 3. And in my opinion, it takes a long time to get to know the cards and know all their meanings. I mean, there's 78 cards and plus combinations and reversals. It takes a long time, and I am 2 times certified in tarot. There's not like an official tarot certification for everybody, that's kind of not how it works, but I did get certified twice, because I feel like you never stop learning in this life, and I wanted to accomplish something like that. So I am a certified tarot advisor via Biddy Tarot, and I am also a tarot master via Joey Walchuk. I can never say his last name. But yeah, so to me, again, it's not required anywhere to have any certificates for tarot. For me, it's just how other people go to college and get their certificates and what they want to pursue and what they love. I wanted to do the same thing, and go through actual lessons and tests and stuff like that. So that's why I got certified. A lot of tarot readers don't. So, and that's fine. That's great. Doesn't matter, whatever your path is, it's all good. But professionally, I have only been reading for about 3 years. So I'm still kind of growing my clientele, and my community on here and everything. So how do I read tarot? Now, besides the fact that I pick the cards and, go off the images and what, they're traditionally meaning, and sometimes not traditionally, a lot of the cards I put a meaning on it that most resonates with me, and a lot of tarot readers do that, and I think that's the most healthy way to do it, and the most efficient way to do it for you, so you will get the answers from your own guides and ancestors, because everybody interprets things differently, especially when it's power intuition based. So when I do a reading with somebody, I try to connect with their energy and their guides. So I'll ask my guides to communicate with their guides and to give me messages via the cards. So when I pull some cards, I am reading I am seeing what the cards look like and what kind of cards are coming up, but I'm also at the same time getting information from, the guides that are higher up, or, wherever next to me, or wherever they are. So these scenarios and examples will pop up in my head, and I'll just say them because, I read very intuitively. And for me, the cards tend to want to tell people their life story. So for me, when I'm doing a reading for a client, they tend to try to clarify things for the client first. So for example, if I'm being asked, is love coming to me this month, right? The tarot will kind of tell a different story of that client just to validate that's who they're talking to, and to get, a connection going. It's easier to get a connection going that way. And then the cards will start to tell you your answer to that question. That's not how it always goes. Sometimes I do get the answer right away, but for the most part, they're trying to just clarify that the client knows I'm speaking to them in a way. I hope that makes sense. But that's how I read. I'll get examples and scenarios in my head that I'll try to convey to the client, and I will also get like feelings, like energetic feelings. Like I'll get a happy feeling, or like a not bad, but a scared feeling, or a feeling like somebody's talking some gossip. You get these hunches and these validating feelings when you're doing a reading to make a connection. So I hope that gave you some kind of background on me and how I read, and some things about my practice I'm obviously going to keep to myself, but that's kind of me in a nutshell in a way. So if you have any more questions, please feel free to leave them down below. If you like a private reading with me, also links are down below, midnightcryptworx.com. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. I am, again, trying to build this community and build my clientele, so please do that. And as soon as I hit 200 subscribers, I will do a giveaway, so keep that in mind. I also have a newsletter where I send tarot readings once a week, and sometimes monthly readings, and just some random stuff. So definitely sign up for my newsletter. I can also do Zoom tarot parties. So if you have a few friends that want a tarot reading all in one little party, I can do that. If it's over $5, then we'll work something out. I'll give you a little bit of a cheaper price, but you can email me, DM me, anywhere. All my social media is down below. All right, pleasant greetings, bugs and kisses, and stay magical, my friends.